Hello. So once again, just another random and spontaneous video. Which just seems to be happening. There's no one making this video, and there's no one watching the video. So my videos seem to be labelled as non-duality or radical non-duality. But all that's being shared here, well, I'm just talking about what is already, what's already the case, what's here, right now, in this immediacy. This is all there is. Like, there's nowhere else you could be. That would be an impossibility. A thought might arise of you doing something else, or needing to do something else, or wishing that that thing didn't happen, and thinking that you could put something right, or I need to be more productive. And the message here is that you can't. There's nothing you can do to escape or change this immediacy that's appearing. It's impossible. You can't control what's appearing, what's happening, what's showing up. And that includes any thoughts and how you feel, or how your nervous system feels. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about again, as usual. But thanks for watching. Had a busy weekend, May bank holiday weekend here in the UK. It's my wife's birthday on Sunday. We actually stayed over in a hotel in Liverpool. Had a great time. Again, an imagined story appearing now in this immediacy. So the message that's being shared here is, well, you can't actually understand it. The me character is this imagined illusion that you believe that you are. And if you're identified with that imagined character, then you believe in time. You really feel like time happened in the past, and that there's going to be a future. And what's being shared here is not the denial of that illusion from appearing. That obviously appears. You know, a memory can arise here of me being at school in the past. But what's been seen clearly now is this awareness or consciousness that's here, this unknown existence, nobody knows what it is, doesn't move. It's like a still screen, but it's bursting with an illusion, bursting with an aliveness of movement, sound, taste, smells, touch, all the senses, all the thoughts of the past, which didn't happen in the past. Any thoughts of the past are a brand new appearance now on this unmoved screen. And it's the same with any thoughts of tomorrow. Tomorrow will never be in the future. It can only be now. The past can only appear now. There is no past or future. There's only this immediacy. That's all that's being shared. It's just a recognition that this is all there is. And people call this realization an awakening or liberation or enlightenment. But it's not even a big deal. It's always been that way. It's just that you've been conditioned from a young age to believe that you're this separate character moving around an imagined world and surrounded by these imagined characters, including your own. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing right with it. It's just what seems to be happening, if that's what's happening where you are. And it seems that a lot of people are searching and seeking, and it can cause suffering, it seems. But it's an illusion. It's a wonderful illusion. It's not actually happening. Nothing's actually happening. There's an appearance that seems to be happening, and that's it. All that mental narrative, all that mental noise isn't actually happening. I'm on a chamomile tea today. I had a couple of coffees this morning, been on a bike ride, and just at home, chilling before I start work. So I just thought I'd click record and make another video. So you can't escape this. You could never not be this. It's already this. But the me character thinks there's another this, an imagined this. But where would that be? There's no time. I mean, here anyway, that seems to have been the the breakthrough. It was seen through multiple glimpses, if you like, or awakenings or realizations. And I mean, here it just seems like that breakthrough of the belief in time. I mean, here it seems to have been the key shift, or the key to just seeing what is, because what is timeless. There's no time here. There isn't time. Time just isn't. It's a completely made up, it's an illusion. Now, in the relative world, I get it, you know, time is very useful. That's what I mean. It's so hard to talk about this message because there's paradoxes all through it. Everything's a paradox. So I hope my message is clear. I mean, it seems to be resonating with people out there. Again, in the relative world, there's no one here. Again, another paradox. There's billions of people, yet there's no one here. It's like yesterday, I was out walking. I did a 10-mile walk yesterday, and I had these thoughts and feelings arise. And the thoughts were, oh, you should be doing some work, you should be being productive. And then feeling a little bit guilty about going out doing a 10-mile walk. My wife was at work. She works at a receptionist. She only does a day a week at a local gym reception. And my youngest was at nursery and my eldest was at school. And I mean, to be fair, I probably should have been working. And this is the thing with the mind and the thoughts and the feelings. So I'm out doing this 10-mile walk yesterday, and these thoughts arise that, oh, I should be doing some work and being a bit more productive. And then these feelings of guilt about that arose. Now, in the past, I would suffer with them thoughts and feelings. But now it's seen that whatever's happening cannot be any other way. And that's the freedom. That's the relief. That's the peace. That's the liberation, the enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. It cannot be any other way. It's timeless. You're not in control of the appearance. You're not in control of your body. You're not in control if you walk, sit, turn left, turn right. The illusion is that you do have a choice, but it's not. If you watch your next thought, you cannot choose it. And if you think you can, then that's another thought that comes after the initial thought that says, I chose that thought. So how could you have chosen the thought in the first place? Game over. When that's seen, that's a huge, I mean, seeing through the illusion of time is one thing, but seeing through the illusion that you're not the doer, you're not the thinker of them thoughts, the feelings are not in your control. The appearance just is as it is. You cannot be anywhere else. But can you accept that? The me character seems to always want something different. I wouldn't say always, because there are times that the me character is content with whatever's happening, but it's normally only if it's satisfactory to you. But it can't be any other way. So whatever's happening, whether it's peace, joy, laughter, love, or complete utter pain and suffering, there isn't another this. And I think when that is seen clearly, there does seem to be less suffering, because you're not kind of, again, it sounds like a teaching or another doing, but there's less push and pull or fighting, you know, for this to be another way. But it's always been that way. That's what's a bit annoying as well. I mean, it was here anyway. There's been times where I've been pissed off when this realization hit home clearly, because of all that grasping and striving and trying to control situations, circumstances, events, people, work, money, you know, exercise, healthy lifestyles or unhealthy habits, drinking, whatever, you know, there's just no control. There's no one doing anything. And I know this message, you know, I don't know why these videos are happening, and I know that the majority of people really believe that they are the self character. They believe in that they are in control of their character. And the message here is that yes, there does seem to be an imagined character, but there's no control, there's no doer, there's no one running this show apart from this. I don't know what this is. No one does. Nobody's ever drove a car. There's bodies driving cars. There's no individual self or doer in a body. Even neuroscience confirms that. I mean, you know, you can open up the human body and you'll find blood, tissue, organs, brain, whatever. There's no me character in there. So your body's moving by itself. It's this that's moving your body, this unknown existence, consciousness, aliveness, energy, whatever this is. And it's incredible. You know, you think the relative world, billions of people moving around simultaneously, cars, trains, planes, breathing, blinking of eyes, shaking hands, kissing, cuddling, playing football, kids, it goes on and on and on. It's breathtaking. It's incredible. You can't actually comprehend it, that there's one self, if you like, oneness, wholeness. There's no separation. So any separation is a thought. That's it. An imagined story, an imagined thought. And there's nothing right or wrong with, you know, again, I don't even know why these videos are happening, but it just seems to be a wanting to share here this message. I mean, there was seeking here. I mean, if you would have said to me this time last year, when I was a seeker, I mean, I've been making these videos for 9 months now. When I started this channel, Imagine Storytime, about 9 months ago. But this time last year, 12 months ago, I was very much a seeker until these series of glimpses came along, and I was listening to Nkosi and Tim Kliss and Tony Parsons and Jim Newman and Emerson and blah, blah, blah. I've done all the seeking. And then it was game over. There's no seeking here now. This message is the end of seeking, because it's just a sharing of what is, and what is what is. You can't do anything. There's nowhere else. There's no time. There's no distance. There's just this appearance. It's okay to seek, because that's just what's happening. In fact, you can't do anything about that. I didn't choose to be a seeker in the past. I didn't choose to have this realization and now not be a seeker. So does seeking or watching non-duality videos lead to this realization? Again, another paradox. I've got to say yes or no, because there's people that have this realization that have done no seeking. And there's no time. Sorry, you might be able to hear my cat snoring. She's more of a house cat, but occasionally she likes to go out for the night. And she was out last night, and when she's been out for the night, she'll just sleep all day in like a deep sleep. I mean, again, imagine story time, but can you imagine being a cat? I mean, you can't get closer to this immediacy than that, really, can you? Newborn baby, perhaps. Well, just animals. It's funny, isn't it? You know, these humans, you know, if you look at the organisms on, you know, that exist, the animal kingdom, and it just seems that the humans are the only ones with this. I mean, do we want to call it a blessing or a curse to believe in time and the imagined selves? It's just what's happening. It's innocent. There's no one doing it. There's just this doing it. And that's why when a newborn baby's born, there's no self, there's no character until conditioning happens. It seems to be around the age of 2, where they start to believe in separation. and believe that's my mum and that's my dad and this is me. I've watched in particular my youngest, he's four years old now, but I basically watched his me character to develop. It's if you ask a 1.5-year-old, if you point to a photograph, I did it with my youngest, so I would show him a photograph of me, my wife, and my 2 children, and I'd point to him on the photograph and say, "Who's that?" And he would say, "That's Harley, that's his name. That's Harley." But now, if I ask him that same question and point to a photograph and point to him and say, "Who's that?" he will say, "That's me." Because he believes he's now a me character. There's nothing right or wrong with it, it's just what's happening. So I just feel like I'm waffling on again, talking nonsense. Again, I don't even know why these videos happen, but they do. There's no one doing it. Doesn't matter. So this aliveness that's here is the same aliveness that's always been here, even as the imagined younger version of you as a 10-year-old girl or boy. This screen, the content does seem to change. The illusion of time can feel so real. There's nothing wrong with falling for the illusion or not being able to see through it. It's just what's happening. And don't get me wrong, I don't walk around in a permanent state of immediacy. I've got a family and a business to run and shit going on in my life that seems to happen and need doing. So, you can't, this is what I mean, people have these glimpses, and it's happened here, and they want to stay in that pure immediacy of a glimpse. You couldn't, you wouldn't, you can't. It's just, you just can't. It's not up to you. The thoughts that arise, you didn't choose them. The feelings, any events, any situations, any moments of good luck or misfortune, it's nothing to do. It's just what's happening. There's no control. This is free fall. This is the end of wanting this to be another way. It can't be another way. It does give so much, really. I mean, how is this even here? The aliveness, the colours, the sounds, the shapes, the fact that this is even here, you just can't wrap your mind, your thoughts around that, or you can't comprehend that. Nothing's solid. Traveling is a fascinating one. When that one was unraveled here, it's amazing, really, because I mean, even if you close your eyes, you could be anywhere. You know, my eyes are open now, and I seem to be in my home. But if I close my eyes, you know, I could be anywhere. And I mean, I've mentioned it on other videos. The traveling is a fascinating one because this aliveness, this awareness, this presence that's here. You know, I could jump in my car and drive to the airport and get on a plane and go to Australia, Argentina, and this awareness hasn't moved. The appearance seems to move, but this doesn't move. It's like a still screen. So there's the illusion of distance dismantled. And then if you can dismantle the illusion of time, which is just a thought appearing now in this screen, on this screen, as I said earlier, at the beginning of the video, any memories of the past didn't happen in the past. They can only happen now on this screen. And it's the same for any thoughts of tomorrow or next week, next month, or next year. They're just imagined stories. They're just thoughts also that appear now on this screen. So it is completely still, timeless, silent. But it's wonderful how this, whatever this is, can pull off that illusion. Not just for you, but for billions and billions of people, even over generations. I mean, what the hell? It's incredible. It's miraculous. And, you know, forgive me, because if you're watching this and you're suffering, there's nothing but compassion here. Genuinely, you know, your story that's happening right now might not be pleasant. It could be difficult or challenging. You know, I respect anyone going through difficult times, because it just seems that this unknown existence wants to play a game of polar opposites. It seems to want to experience itself. It's only itself. So whatever's happening is this appearing as a character going through a circumstance, but there's no you involved in that. There seems to be. The illusion is that you're involved in what's happening. You're taking it personally. But it's this dreaming itself. It's this dreaming itself to be your character experiencing life in that way, whether that's good or bad. So it seems to, as I said, I mean, I'm just going off, you know, experience and what's been noticed here. But it seems like this unknown existence wants to experience itself through as many forms as possible. So it's the formless appearing as form and experiencing the polar opposites. You know, I mean, everything's got polar opposites, you know, whether it's colours, you know, pain or pleasure, you know, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it want to do that? Don't know. And if you're one of them lucky bastards that's having a really good story, right now. Good for you. That's just what's happening, you know, and it's just how it is. I mean, in my story, you know, it's just, you know, so many stories of suffering here, unpleasant times, but equally so many stories of happiness and wonderful times. And I don't, you know, I can't compare my life to anyone else's life, because that's just an imagined story. That's just an imagined story. I'm just talking about what's happened here. And what has happened here is a realization that there is only this timeless immediacy, yet it can appear still as it can appear as the story of my life in the past and what might happen in the future. But it's an imagined story, so it's seeing through the illusion again and again and again, until you realize that this is all there is. There does seem to be less suffering when that's seen, because there's no identification with the me character here anymore. I mean, it can still happen. It's hard to explain. I would say now that this immediacy is always the foreground now, and the me character, the Gavin Brooks character here, is just a distant thought-based illusion. It's quite see-through. It's got no power. Whereas in the past, it was the opposite to that. You know, I identified strongly with the me character, judging myself and others, and really believing that I was this character in a world with a past and an apparent future. Really believing in that, you know. That's fucking hard, that. If you're, that's the thing with the me character. If you're trying to control, it's like spinning plates. Trying to keep it all going. And oh God, the relief when this is seen clearly. I don't want to say you don't have to worry about anything anymore, because worrying can still be an appearance that arises now in this immediacy. But even that gets seen through whenever it arises. Any thoughts and feelings now that arise here are, it's just seeing that they're just an appearance. There's no actual realness to that. A thought and a feeling is as real as a bird. A bird flying across the sky. It comes and goes. But there's an awareness of presence here that does not come and go. And that's what I point to, really. Screen, this whatever it is. Alexis Knight, one of his shorts popped up on my YouTube feed the other day, and I've noticed he likes to say basking in this immediacy. I think that's what he says, something like that. It's a great word, that basking. You know, if you and it sounds like a teaching or something that you can do, but you can't choose to do that either. But it is. It's like a basking in this. You know, there's nowhere else. There isn't anywhere else. As I said, you know, you can travel to a different part of the world, but you'll still be in this. There's nowhere else. As I said, the appearance can change, the content on the screen might look different, but this isn't. This is the same. As I said, that's where the relief and the freedom and the liberation is. If that can be seen, that this is all there is, there's nowhere else. There's no time or space, because they are imagined stories. So yeah, it's just like a show. It's a movie. No one's doing anything. And it can trigger people, because there's people that seem to be doing horrific things. So this message is inclusion of everything, all appearances, all actions, all thoughts, all feelings, everything. You know, there's not, you know, this screen, there's not a part of the screen that is this and a part of the screen that isn't this. So this awareness that does appear as a relative world, you know, there's not certain parts of the UK that are this and certain parts that are not this, or Japan, or whatever, China. Or there's not certain parts of your imagined past that are this and certain parts that are not this. It's all of it. It includes the flowers and the dog shit. It includes the act of kindness and the horrific. There's nobody doing that act of kindness, and there's no one doing the horrific. As I said, this unknown existence seems to want to experience itself. It dreams the dream itself to be, well, it's infinite possibilities. And why wouldn't it? It seems to have that capability to appear as anything. And that's why you see the extremes in society. You know, the millionaires to the poverty, the perfect health to incurable disease. But it's all okay, however it appears, because it can't be any other way. But if you can bask in this immediacy, there does seem to be less resistance. And resistance is also included in this. So any resistance to this is this also appearing as a character who's resisting this. It's a joke. You cannot escape it. But there's nowhere else. And there's nothing else to do. It's just how it's appearing. You can't control it. And then when people hear this message, they'll say, oh, well, fuck it then. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to lie in bed all day and do nothing. But you can't choose to do that. That's another doing. There's no doer. Try it yourself. Try and do nothing for 8 hours. Good luck. Try to think only positive thoughts for the next 8 hours. Good luck. Try not blink your eyes for the next hour. Holding going to the toilet for a few days. You get my point. Everything's just happening by itself. But this me character just claims it, claims ownership, says, no, I'm doing it. I'm running this show. I'm this me character, me. Again, there's nothing right or wrong with that. It's even the egoic me characters, arrogance is still beautiful. There's no one doing that. So I've always said there's no teaching here. No, I've never really done, I've tried meditation. It's just doesn't appeal here. Again, there's nothing right or wrong with that. If practices and meditation are happening there, then that's just what's happening. You can't choose to do that or stop doing that. So it just seems that here I tend to like to just talk about what is, because this is all there is. And that seeking is completely futile. Again, there's nothing wrong with seeking. It's just what's appearing. You can't choose to seek or not to seek. But it can be seen through. The illusion can be seen through. It's happened here. It was more of a, again, time seems to be the biggest illusion to unravel. It feels so real. I've got an iPhone, and anyone who's got an iPhone, or in fact any smartphone, I imagine it happens with, but it constantly have pictures of my past popping up, family days out and holidays of the past, and so it kind of reiterating the me character all the time. Society, everywhere you look, photos around the home, picture albums, Facebook pop-ups of things that happened in the past, and what's happening on the news, what's going to happen next week. It's all about time. And so there's nothing wrong with it, nothing right with it. It's just this aliveness wants to keep the illusion going. You can't really escape the illusion. And this is a bit disappointing in a way. You can see through it, but you can't really escape it, because you're not in control of your thoughts or the appearance. So it seems like this unknown existence wants to keep the illusion of the relative world and time alive. So it's appearing as it appears. But there's no one doing any of it. So it could be devastating, if you've had this realization, because you actually don't exist. No one does. It's a joke. That's the cosmic joke, really, when it's seen that there is no self and no other, and there's no one here. It can be scary. It can be terrifying as well, because it's just completely empty. Again, the stillness and the silence of this unmoving screen. And there's nothing else. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there for today. But once again, thank you for watching. It's much appreciated. I've had a few emails lately asking if face-to-face meetings may happen, and been invited to a couple. So appreciate that. Thank you. At this moment in time, it just seems that I'm happy doing the videos for now, but I am certainly open to that possibility. But there's no doer. It'll either happen or it won't. But yeah, thank you for supporting the channel, comments, emails, and I hope you have a lovely day.